My name is Johnny Trump. I am one of the board members of Hope. And Mr. Shola says to me, John, we need a speaker for October. Who do you think we should bring up? And I said, why, Mr. Shola? Funny, you should ask. Because I have one of the most profound, outstanding speakers in mind that you would ever want to consider. He says, who would that be? I said, why, it's my wife. She never stops talking. She can speak till the cows come home. And he says, oh yeah, I know her. My wife, Mrs. Trump, who in her endeavors, she's come to be known as Morphea. Now, I want you to think about that. That's a play on the name Morpheus. Our topic for tonight is going to be in the realm of poverty to riches, using the law of attraction. I'm sure you've all heard of the law of attraction, but I'm not sure if you truly understand it. What Anita Trummp is going to do tonight, she's going to break it down. She's going to make the law of attraction understandable. The law of attraction has been out for a while. The law of attraction has been put out in a form to us where it sounds and seems like it's complete, but if you've noticed, a lot of you have read the books, a lot of you looked at the videos, a lot of you watched the television shows, and how has it worked out for you so far? Not good. By this time, since the law of attraction came out, we should all be filthy rich multi-billionaires. Let me tell you why we're not. Because they left something out. Tonight, you're going to find out what they left out. Morphea has taken upon herself to get the information, analyze the information, and break it down so that she can present it to you where we can all understand it and finally begin to use it. Morphea has also put it in a form where she can expound, expand, and extrapolate down to the cellular level so that when you leave here tonight, you will be able to go home and finally put the law of attraction into your lives. So without further ado, I'm going to bring to you Anita Morphea Trump.
You're using the law of attraction daily. Every day you're using it. But you're using it in a way where you're not realizing that it's against what you're trying to do. So let me start here. How many of us heard about the book by James Allen called As a Man Thinketh? All right. How many of you heard about the book called Think and Grow Rich? Ooh, I'm amongst my peers. All right now. Normally I do that and you got one or two, but I got a whole room full. All right. How many have heard about the book called Ask and It Is Given by Esther and Jerry Hicks? Okay. I got another one for you. How about The Secret? Okay, we're doing good. We're doing good. All of those books tonight is when they was putting the information together, they specifically left out some key information and using the law of attraction on purpose and getting what it is you want out of life and causing you to realize that you have the power inside of you to be, do, or have whatever it is you want. You just need to learn how to use it. Okay? That's the key. Learning how to use the law of attraction. So, let me ask you this. How many of you heard about the law of gravity? So, how many of you know when you go up on a 22-story building and you are a Jew, you are white, black, you are African, you are a Baptist, Methodist, you are a whatever. If you jump off that building, what's going to happen? Do it discriminate? Guess what, y'all? All except me, because when I jump, I'm going to have a parachute. I'm not stupid. I understand how law works. Okay? Now, do you have to agree with it or disagree with it? Do you have to believe that it works? Well, that's what we're talking about here. We're talking about the law of attraction. It's not asking your permission. It's not asking you, oh, do you believe in me? It's not asking you any of that. It is working every day, 365 days a year, forever, because it's a universal law. Now, there's one other thing I think I need to bring to your attention, because we all said when you jump off that building, because of the law of gravity, what goes up must come down. All except airplanes. Why not? Anybody know? Anybody? I know airplane. It's called the law of lift, which is senior to the law of gravity. Did you have any idea that's the way it works? So now let me tell you the interesting thing. Did you know that the law of attraction is the senior law to all laws? So if you employ the law of attraction, if you jump off that building, and you actually employ the law of attraction, you will not fall. Did anybody see the Matrix? Anybody? We don't have a lot of Matrix people? All right. Well, we got some homework to do. Because at one point, when he went and jumped, he didn't make it. At another point, when he went and jumped, he was flying like Superman. What happened to his mind? What happened to his mind? He began to use the law of attraction on purpose. So he began to be able to do whatever it was he wanted to do. So, while I'm making sure you understand before we go on, why am I bringing this up? How does it apply to you? I want everybody in here to understand one thing, and that's that you are a creator. Have you ever heard that before? Have you ever heard you a creator before? Okay. Have you ever asked the question, how do I create? If you never asked the question, how do I create? Have you ever asked that question, how do I create? You never asked, how? If I'm a creator, how do I use this? Since you didn't ask the question, did anybody come to you and say, look, you're a creator, let me tell you how to do it? Did anybody tell you how to do it? Nobody told you how to use your abilities, correct? Well, while I'm getting ready to explain to you the how to use your abilities, I walked around and I gave out little red and blue packages that look like this. You want to go ahead and take your little gifts out. I call them my props. You want to take your little gifts out. Everybody should have 3 cards like this. Everybody should have a quarter, a red quarter, and a blue quarter. Everybody should have magnets, and everybody should have their little screws. And you want to separate yours just like you see mine. 3 spaces. And you want your magnets away from the screws. So you're going to need a table. So I thought I'd let you go ahead and get started with that. While I tell you how you create. I gave everybody these 3 cards. So when you get your card, and once everything is all set up, you're going to look on the back of your card. And on the back of the card, you're going to see a list. That list is not just words. That list is the magnets that is used by the law of attraction that is located around everyone's body. We're talking about 6 billion people on the planet. It is a way that the law keeps everything just and fair, because it doesn't need your permission to work. Just like the law of gravity need your permission to work. Okay? So once everybody got that out, now, if I would have said to you, without bringing my props, that you had a magnet around your body, your mind already thinks you know how a magnet works. So what I did, I brought my props so that you can actually see what's going on around your body and everybody's body on the planet. You just need to make a decision. And that's what the red and the blue is about. It's about the decision. Okay? Everybody about ready? We ready? Okay. What we want to do is we want to pick our magnets up. Everybody's going to pick their magnets up. Is it any way? There's no way I can sit this on something. Yeah. Okay. Hold your magnets up in the air. First thing you want to do is educate yourself on how your magnet is working around your body. So let's, okay? So that just came right together. Now, did you have to pull it to the magnet? Okay. Now, let me tell you the other part of this that's going to be very important. And this comes in, I just throw this out there because it's important. It comes in when it comes to relationships. As a creator, we've heard people say this over and over and over again. You can't mess with people's will. You can't mess with free will. You ever heard that before? Well, as creators, we know we can't mess with free will. So let me show you what happens when you mess with somebody else's will. Hold one magnet, turn the other one around, and try to put it to the other magnet. You see that? Can you do it? Can you put it there? That's what happens, men and women, boyfriends, girlfriends, husbands, wives. Lawfully, when you mess with each other's will. Did you know that this is how magnets work? This is how magnets work. This is why a lot of relationships, when you feel that, somebody needs to stop and shut up and determine what's going on. That's just that part. Now, you got 3 little piles here. Now, we already know how magnets work, and I said to you, you got a magnet around your body. In the layman's term, they call that an aura. You ever heard of an aura? Everybody heard of aura? You have that around your body. Not just your head, your body. Your children have it. Your grandchildren, your mother, fathers, everybody had it. They were supposed to teach us how to use our creative abilities when we came on the planet, but they didn't know how. So let us take a moment. You understand a magnet? This right here, don't you do yours yet. This right here is metal. Now you know that the law can't bring no metal hurling towards you. That won't feel good. Right? So I'm telling you, so you'll know, these pounds right here represent what the law do use. This is people, this is places, and this is circumstances. That's what the law uses. The law of attraction says like attracts like. So if you take a moment and you look at this card, it's going to have a list of what you think are words. In actuality, this is the magnets that's being used to pull to you what it is that the law thinks you want. And you have something called a default that comes on you when you're born. Depends on how your parents was operating and your mother carried you, determining where your default is, which is considered your reset. Now, everybody may not like their default. It might be somewhere that you don't want it to be. And it works just like a computer. It actually, if a computer get a virus and all that stuff, it has a reset button. So what happens is you gotta go and erase everything and take it back to the reset button. Start all over again, clean it off, okay? Depending where your default is, you may not want that. What if your default is at number 13? Doubt. So that means this is what the law do. All people, places, and circumstances that have doubt connected to it. The law is bringing those to you to give you more, what? Doubt. Over and over and over again. We create 6 months at a time. So it's a way to find out each and every person's default in this room. You just need to let me know that's what you want to do. Once you determine what that is, then it's time for you to decide whether you want to be like me. You notice my bag is yellow. It represents sunshine. It represents what's going on in my life. After getting myself from the point of my start to the top. Now I'm running around up here and everybody looking at the card. Freedom, empowerment, love, joy. That's what my magnet is doing. After considerable work on using the law of attraction on purpose. Lot of mental work, no physical work whatsoever. Now, I got one question for you. One question. Could you choose the people, places, and circumstances that could I choose it? Could I choose what came to me? No, I can't. You can't choose what comes to you. All you can choose is what's in your magnet. The law chooses what comes to you. It's depending on what's in your vicinity. This magnet is not picking up this. It's not in the vicinity to pick it up, but it picked up this. That's important. That's very, very, very important. What is in your vicinity? What is in your magnet? Is it bringing you things you don't want? Is it bringing you things you do want? Have you been fighting with your default? Here you got a little bit of success. I'm moving up, I'm moving up. Oh my God, it's so happy. I'm in joy and love. Oh my goodness. Then all of a sudden, go on and say it with me. All hell break loose. Go on and say it with me. All hell break loose. Well, what happened? And then when it comes, go on and say it with me. It rains, it pours. When it rains, it pours. Ain't that what we say? We done got into the habit of it. Well, that's the law and your default. By you not knowing how all of this works and taking full control of yours and putting yours where you want it at. After learning how to use your what? Creative abilities. Did anybody ever tell you you had to learn how to use your creative abilities? Well, that's what I do. I'm a transformational coach. I help transform lives one action at a time. I happen to have a couple of students in the audience that have been working with me and getting amazing, amazing results. And I gotta tell you in all honesty, I don't do any work, do I? This is one of my students, Alexis. Who do the work? How do you think it's happening for you? Is the life changing?
Yes, very. Very.
It's surprising how life changing it can be when you take full control of your destiny and use the law on purpose to move you from poverty to riches. You want to know why you never got to the wealth that you were looking for. It's a serious matter when you don't know what's going on in your magnet. It's working against you. The law don't discriminate, and it don't go on your words. You know the affirmations that we use, y'all, we put them all on the the whole mirror, just my whole mirror, y'all, the whole mirror. Just all kind of stuff. I used to do all of that until I realized that I went up on top of the building and I jumped without a parachute. I ain't make it. The law works like that. It doesn't listen to your words. You can't just spew out pretty words and expect the law to give you what you want. It works totally on your creative abilities. Nothing more, nothing less. I don't always like having lectures in so many words. That's what I call these lectures. Everybody's so used to this. We show up and we have conversations. Half the people ain't listening, half the people sleep, all that stuff going on. It's not even important enough for you to realize that I'm looking around the room and I'm just going to do an average here. We're talking 30 years old, 40 years old, 50 years old, 60 years old, 70 years old, still working on it. Well, how long you want to work until we bury you? When are you going to step up and say, wait a minute, this is the definition of insanity. My parents before me did this. The parents before me did this, did this. And here I am, 30 years old, 40 years old, 50 years old, and I'm not there yet. When are you going to change something in your life so you can change your life? That's what it's all about. I happen to be a mother of 7 children. Do I look like it? All of them birthed by me. Everybody always has. So I have to tell y'all right now, they all mine. My oldest child is 37 years old. Do I look like it? See, I got some people that woke up when I said that. I watch my audience. I know how to wake you up. But reality is this. The reason why I don't look like it is because I live what I'm talking about. When you start working on yourself from the inside, the outside has to mimic it because you're in control. You control everything from the time you get out of the bed to the time you go to sleep. In my home, I don't even have a TV. I don't want a TV. We already have enough stuff bombarding our mental that you're going to have to work against when you decide to take full control of using the law of attraction to get what it is you want in your life. Your question is,